Father Mc Greal, what's this all about today?
Well, this is in Kester, Good Friday. At 3 o'clock every Good Friday we have public penitential Stations of the Cross. Now, the one thing I established here personally is the Stations of the Cross. And I think the Stations of the Cross in Maumeen are very special. They're penitential, and they are the one thing that will ensure that for hundreds, thousands of years to come, this will be a Christian shrine. It was originally a pre-Christian shrine. And I was afraid that with the revival of the Celtic spirituality, they would scrub out Christianity that has been here for over 2,000 years, or nearly 1,500 years. So that's what they are, and they fit in very well. Now, the cartoons on the stations have received great praise, and they were done by Sister Pius in Westport. And the crosses on the stations are John Coffey's cross. He created that cross. It's called Maumean, Maumean cross. And I can see it now, it's coming up on tombstones and everything. Because John Coffey did everything that is sculptured here, except the statue. But he put up the statue, he did the crosses over the church and so on. So there's a lot in those Stations of the Cross, and they're done beautifully. The reflection, the meditation is the Queen, and you heard it. The Queen is sung by Joe John McAnumra. As I said, he was the man, he won the O'Reilly Cup at the Oireachtas, one of the best Seanmas singers in Connemara. And also it was led today by my successor. I am the guardian of Maumeen, as you know, and my successor is Fintan Monaghan. He's the secretary of the Archbishop. And there was a tremendous crowd here. There was much over 1,000, maybe more. I know when I count after each, I'd say there was well over 1,000 people here today. And the weather was good, and the spirit was good. There was silence, and everyone was moving. Now I had to use my sticks to get them up off the ground, because some people come up here, they're not coming up to pray. Well, that's all right, but they can't stop other people from praying by yapping, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I have a bit of a reputation of being cross here. They call me the fierce priest. It was in a thing, and also Bull Mc Greal, and you know, but I don't mind that.
Maybe it's good leadership, is it?
Huh?
It's good leadership.
Well, yes, it is. But if you haven't discipline in a place like this, you can have no prayer. Now, there was a film made of the three great patrician shrines, Lochderg, Croagh-Patrick and Maumeen. And this was the last one they did. It was done by a group from Sweden. And when they were here, I asked them what was special about Maumeen. And they said, well, Lochderg was the most penitential. Croagh-Patrick was the most physical, but Maumeen was the most spiritual. And for me, that was it. Also, as you can see, we haven't interfered with the mountain. It's a very simple shrine. And why am I interested in it? Well, my grandfather had sheep on Denmark. I grew up here. 3 months after summer, I was here. I used to come here in the 30s when they were when they were coming, and all they had was these circle of stones. And these circle of stones down here are from the pagan times. Now what they were, we don't know. They may have had a tent and a circle of stones, and they went around it to pray, or they may have had a holy person inside in it. And then the well was here too when Patrick came. He blessed the well. And there was a flag out there in front of that rock, and he slept here for a night, and they called it St. Patrick's bed. But out of devotion, the people had chipped away the flag, and it's gone. Now, there are 8 serious entries about Maumeen in the Folklore Commission. But one I know that English, when he visited Connemara in 1834, he describes the pilgrimage here. He says that he came up on a horse a bit of the way and he had to walk the rest. there were 20 tents of poaching here. You can see the tracks of them are all there. And when I was building the Station to the Cross, there was bits of broken crockery. Poaching was carried around in these big jars, and I put them into the Station to the Cross. He said there was 3 things here. There was devotion, there was faction fighting here, the Joyces versus the rest, and there was then other things from people. There was a lot of matchmaking here. The women from the Clodagh met the men from the hills, and vice versa. Also, people exchanged rams here, because you know yourself there's a sheep country. Well, a lot of things done that way here. And then it was let go into decline. And the people began to switch from here to Croagh-Patrick. And the bicycle enabled them to go more. But also the clergy didn't support Maumean because there was too much celebration and poaching and stuff like that. And also I think Archbishop McKevley, under the influence of Pius IX, under the influence of Cardinal Cullen in Dublin, wanted to do away with these native things like Maumean, Kilgeever and so on, and bring us into church pilgrimages like Knock or Lourdes or places like that. So I thought that was wrong, but this place kept the people faith. And in fact, it was mentioned in they were outlawed too in the penal laws, you know that. You couldn't meet in shrines. So one day, the origin, want to know, the origin happened here was, I was in charge of the youth section, you know, in Dublin. I was vice president of the youth council and all that. And there was an Irish language youth club over in Finning. And they were making out a programme, and as you know, the theory is you work them so that they won't be tired, so they won't be creating trouble. And I said to them, will you go to Maumeen and I'll say Mass here for you. And I said Mass at the Rock. And 34, I told the local priests, we had to get the permission anyhow, because this shrine splits the parish of Roundstone and Leenan. Goes down there, but this is in the parish of Leenan. The chapel is in the parish of Roundstone. And I told the man in Recess and I told the man in Kilmilton. And 34 people came up here, and after the Mass they left 30 pounds on the rock. And I told them to take it back, and I said, no. And I got an inspiration. I said, with this money I'll get the cement and stuff, and we'll build here a Mass rock. And as long as I am a priest, I will say Mass here every year. And this is the Mass rock we built.
That's where we're sitting in now, the Mass rock.
Where we're at now. And that was my promise to them, that I would build here a Mass rock, and I would come and say Mass here every year as long as I can. And that's 34 years ago now. And I said now earlier in 1932, my grandfather was a stonemason. He built an altar where the church is now, and Mass was offered here in thanksgiving for the Free State, and William T. Cosgrave and his 2 sons, Liam and his brother, served Mass here at that time.
God bless, Father.
And God bless. And so that's the connection then. So anyhow, I did this, and I went to the Archbishop and got permission to build the Mass rock, and he came here and consecrated it himself. Archbishop Conan, he was very much for it. So in the beginning he said there's another shrine, you had too many shrines in the diocese, but I said this one was long before any of them. Because Patrick came here in 441, before you went to the Reek. So then what happened, we couldn't say Mass here because it was too wild. And for that reason we had to build, we wanted to get a shelter, and I said we'll build a sacristy chapel, and that's it there. And that was built in 1985, which was 1600th anniversary of the birth of St. Patrick. He was born in 385. And I said then we want a statue. Now the statue is very interesting because it's sculpted by one of Ireland's leading sculptors, Cliona Cusson. So I was at an exhibition of Cliona Cusson's in Dublin, where she had renewed a Celtic cross that had been knocked down in Munster, and she built a thing for the grave of Martin O'Kine. and I had done the services from watching O'Kine. And I asked her, would she be interested in doing a life-size statue of St. Patrick? She said she would. So she came up here then, and she looked for a face, and she looked for a sheep. So she built, the statue is the young St. Patrick, and you can see he has the blanket over his shoulder. He is the shepherd. He has a kriss around his waist, and you can see on one is the Celtic symbolism and also the cross. He has the shepherd's stick, and he has the snake coming out representing evil, and the lamb is in at his feet. So that statue weighs a ton and a half. I built the plinth, and John Coffey came up here and we brought it up on a helicopter and we dropped it into the plinth. Now I had to look for a name for it, and you know, Nave is quite new in Irish. So it's Pádraig Mór na Héireann, the big pat of Ireland, era Maumeen. So I asked Lena Cusson, what did she express in the statue? Welcome and peace. If you look at that, if you study that statue, you're welcome and be peace with yourself. And that's what the statue does, and I think it's beautiful. Now, that's about all. Then we built the chapel. Oh yes, now we come again to the stained glass windows. They have been done by Sister Pius, and they are beautiful. Mm. Now, another sculptor did the landscape around them, and before she did that, we did them in black and white. But it was... Now, what else is going to happen here? Well, everything here is done by a group. It's not done by me. The path was done. We did everything together.
All locals, yeah?
Yes, and even on the pilgrimage, when we brought up the concrete blocks, they were down there, and one day on pilgrimage everyone brought up one. So we got them all up together. We did everything together. And that's why it's going to succeed. It's gone from 34 people to 1,200. And
why do you think they come?
Why do they come? Mm. They come to get close to God. That's why they came the first day 3,000 years ago. Why did the Celts come here? Dove came here. Well, no, they come close to God, and I find very close to God here. I remember going around the station across and crying. I got into the station so much. You just couldn't bear to think that the Son of Man was treated that way. Oh yeah, I have another story on the Station to the Cross. I said to the Archbishop, Archbishop, I want to put up a new Station to the Cross. The ones that are totally out of Scripture, not these more traditional ones. And he says to me, that'd be a pity, then you won't have Veronica. And I said, what's Veronica? He says, the Stations to the Cross are built around Veronica. Do you not know that? And I said, who is Veronica? Veronica is the Vera icon, the true icon. She is, he says, the one person in the Stations of the Cross that gave relief to Christ. By giving him the towel, he took the blood and the sweat off his brow. And that gave him a temporary release. And that's the way, the idea there is that we, by sharing our suffering with Christ, can take some of the pain of his passion from him. But I said, Archbishop, Veronica is staying there as far as I'm concerned, and she's there in the centre below at this beautiful station. But
you love this place, yeah?
Of course I love this place. I loved it always. I loved it here in the 30s. Of course we used to come up in the 30s after the pilgrimage day to take the pennies out of the well. To go down and spend them in Maumeen buying sweets. Well, we're all kids, of course. No, I like it. What's thrilling me is the fact that the Fenton Monaghan is doing so much for us, and he's secretary of the Archbishop, and he's a great man altogether. The man that the station to has suffered. But he's a tremendous priest, and all the people, and all the young people. I mean, that's the great thing about it. That's why that God and man go together. God and nature are like a glove in a hand. There should be no division.
Well, it's going to last forever, I think, is it?
Well, Brownship, the faith in Ireland, will that last? We've gone so materialistic now.
And I suppose your memory lasts as long as this.
Huh?
Your memory will last as long as this. You'll go with it.
Oh, I'll stay here. I mean, I'd love to die here. I'd love to do like the old Indians did. To go up the hill someday and drop dead and the greybacks take away my flesh and somebody come up on my bag of bones and bury them in the bog.